Oh, it's a big school of them, biggest school of them. I'm looking at the biggest muddy. That's tea for us. You know, like the travelling part of it's good, but it's what you get up to. That's where it's at. Do I get them both? No, one's chasing the other one. Oh, right in the shallows. They were like in ankle deep water. This year's going to be something else. Alright, welcome back to another episode. So, even though we don't have a set date that we're leaving, I still don't like leaving things to the last minute, which sometimes I do. So, not in this case, hopefully. So we're just trying to, get everything done. More and more jobs as we go, and more things rock up so I can finish jobs. But now, it's back onto this tinny. Trailer springs are rocked up, Seb got everything else there, went and got some paint, spare bits and pieces. And now, we're getting stuck into this trailer. Like I said, gonna give it a coat of paint. Give it a coat of love. Yeah, you know, more because I just think it's gonna look good. But no, it'll help it out too. So we're gonna strip him down. It's gonna be a quick one. I know absolutely stuff all about spray painting. My only experience is with a can and, you know, probably push bike wheels and a push bike frame, stuff like that. I've done bits and pieces, but went out and got a spray gun, so we'll see how that goes. I'm just glad I have a mate I can call every now and then. Phone a friend, eh? So yeah, I'm gonna give it a go at spray painting this bad boy. Like I said, I'm gonna put this on it first. Don't even want to pronounce the name, just in case I get it wrong. This is the stuff. Apparently it is really good stuff. It should be really good stuff. Yes, it cost a bit, but I actually got it for not a bad price. And reason being I went it, it's not just to paint this trailer, but I want to do my ute chassis. And with all my knowledge of spray painting, like I said, I want to test it out on a you know, boat trailer first, see how it goes. So we'll throw that down on first, and then yeah, I'll put a top coat on it. Yeah, let's do it. Jerry cans fitted. Won't bolt them down yet. I'll just wanted to place them in, and I'll still paint these separate, and I'll bolt them on after she's finished painted. I went here. The weights should be okay, even though they're behind the axle. I've still got a fair bit of weight up front, so I'm not too worried about what I'm putting up the back at the moment. And I can still pack things, you know, accordingly. And I do have a it's one of them little table scales, so it may not be exact, but at least I'm not guessing, and it gives me a good idea. I'll be able to do all that, test that out before I take off, but it's only a little bit of weight. It's not like I'm doing the big camper trailer. Really got to put thought into that one, and I did all right doing that one, so this will be all right. It's not too far away from the rear tyre, and it's the best spot to put them. Coming along now, all the top's done. Just got to do more of the axle, but what I'm going to do now is drop it out, take these wheels off both sides and drop the springs out and take that axle out. We've got it lifted up. And what I might do then is put him back down, and I might flip him upside down, and I'll do the bottom of the trailer then. I've done all the sides and the top as good as I can. Come up all right, pretty happy with that. The weather's holding off all right. She's done. Looking pretty good. all cleaned up, top and bottom. What I did is I hosed it off, get all the gunk out and that, and got the blower onto it, help it dry a bit quicker for me. It's a good day today, so it didn't take long to dry at all. Now we're gonna do that, what's old mate call it? Magic rust spray. So I've got to give credit. I searched on YouTube, like we all do, and then this fella come up with his little video about this magic rust spray. So I went out and purchased exactly what he used in it. I can't remember the name, so I'm going to put his picture up there and his name of his YouTube channel, because it's not so much rust on here, but it will help all that sort of stuff. But it's more, hopefully it's going to work as an etcher for the galvanized part, so the primer sticks to it. So it recommends to spray it and leave it for 24 hours. I'll go mix him up and I'll show you what's in it, and then after 24 hours after it's all sprayed, we'll come back and we'll be able to put on this what is it, Bronnox stuff. So we'll get to it. What we got, this is these two main ingredients. We've got phosphoric acid, and then we got, I think it's ethyl, how you pronounce it, alcohol. That's the one you want. So I think I paid about, for 5 litres, about 80 bucks, 70 bucks. But because you're diluting it, it goes a lot further. And this here, you're only using 5% of it, of whatever you're mixing. And then you're mixing it with just water. So I've got me a 2 litre container. So I'm going about 800 mils of water. And then he recommends a 60% concentrate. So I'm going to do 80 for 2 litres. I'm going to do 800 mils of water and about 1200 mils of the acid and 5% of this. So what he said apparently is this here does the cleaning. So when you finish spraying it on the day after, you can pretty much paint your epoxy primer straight over it. It may, I was reading in the comments, some people saying, oh, I got some white powdery stuff looking on it. And he said that could be caused, I think he either said too much phosphoric acid in the mix or too much water. Pretty sure it's the other way around, but it's just a matter of wiping it off. But yeah, so you could, which is pretty cool if you can just paint straight over it, because I don't really want to hose it off again, because the alcohol does the cleaning and that gets it ready apparently. And then the actual acid is what turns your rust into, not rust or whatnot. So that's my main thing for this trailer, because there's not a lot of rust on it, but I want to see how it does go on the rusty surfaces, see what it does turn out like and how it works. But he's got a lot of views out of it and a lot of happy people that have been using it, because it went up a little bit ago because it is, yeah, magic rust spray. Anyway, one thing I will say is, I remember this from a while ago, if you're going to mix your acid and with your water, you want to have your water in there and then mix your acid into it, because it can have the same effect. And any slow, I'm just going to go real slow, if you do it the other way around, it could cause the same effect as, say, if you got hot oil in a pan and you pour, you start a fire and the first thing someone wants to do is pour water in it, but if you've seen that shit go off, it really goes rank, explode. That's why you should always dry your chips before you put them in the hot oil. Anyway, we're going to mix this up. Pour my alcohol in. Bob's your uncle. To think that this is what I'm using it for and what it's going to do to this metal, and we drink this shit, like only a small dose, but it's in coke. Hence the fact why they use coke for cleaning rust. Shout out to old mate. Moment of truth. I don't want to put too much pressure in there. I waited till it cooled down too. Now it's just a matter of spraying it on. Far out, what a day. She's all done though. That was a long day. So I went through and sprayed it with that stuff. It actually turned out really cool. It certainly has cleaned it off, stripped it down, but I think I'm going to have to wet it down tomorrow, then hit it with a gurney, because before I had it, there was it was coated with Tectile. I wanted to paint it when I first got it, but it was still soft and good. But now it's like when I'm sanding it off, it was powdery, but there are some spots where it's still a bit thick and you know, real rubbery sort of feeling. But once this spray hit it, actually just bubbled it and just peeled it off. So I think there's going to be some patches, you know, that I'll have to definitely hose off. But we'll get up nice and early, do that tomorrow. Yes, we'll do that tomorrow. And then all the rest of the stuff sprayed, and then yeah, I'll hit it with the other stuff, the Renox. So not tomorrow, but the next day she should be good. Then we'll start putting it back together. Yes. See you in the morning. Alright, I'm gonna butt in for a bit. That battery I was telling you about, that I was gonna get for the boat and the quad camp, it's rocked up. It's the same mob as the solar panels from Renogy. I'll give you a bit of an idea about it. The reason why I went this way is because it's meant to be waterproof and dustproof. I'm not really having to worry about it. Obviously when you're in the boat it can get wet. The biggest thing is I love doing the quad trips in the wet seasons as well. So I'm not too fussed on, you know, if it gets a bit of moisture on it. Obviously I'm not going to want to let it sit in the weather, but at least now I'm not worried about the electric side of things. So that's the biggest reason why I went it. It's a solid, and obviously dust, because when I pack for a quad trip, not everything's packed in a canopy, it's just shit's everywhere as long as it's on board for me. So I'll give you a bit of a look into it anyway. And then yeah, I haven't tried it out yet, it's just rocked up, so it's rocked up in time for this trip, which I'm pretty stoked about. I have a feeling it's going to be used in this trip. So I'll give you a bit of a rundown on the specs. So she's 100 amp hour lithium battery. It is. Was it about 1280 watt hours? What do we got here? Cycle life is 5,000 cycles, and then it drops down to about 80% depth of charge. So it should see many quad camps. That's for sure. Operating temperature range when charging is -20 to 55 degrees. The operation temperature range when discharging is -20 to 60 degrees. Dimensions, so it's cross is 268 mil. Height would be 205 mil, and then width is 193. Weighs 12.2 kilos. Come with your terminal bolts and that. It actually come with your short ones, and it come with longer ones, and it's got a 7-year material warranty on it. So like anything though, yeah, something goes wrong, you want your customer service to be just as good as your sales service was. So that's with anything. Discharging, maximum is 100 amps, and what I like about it is its peak discharge current is 245 amps, but it actually goes for 30 seconds, it says. So it also has threads underneath it, so you can actually buy one of their mounting kits. I thought it may have come with it, but it didn't. Understandable, because not a lot of people would use this, but yeah, it's a handy little idea. And it's got Bluetooth, runs off the Renogy app, which is not too bad. Got a bit happening for it, some good details, and they can only better it as they go on with updates. Now I can keep an eye on what's going in, what's coming out, and where we're at with the battery and that. So very handy feature. So that's her. I don't know exactly how I'm going to set it up. I've got a few different ideas, but I need to be out there using it first to see what's going to work for me. I do have an idea what will and won't work for me, because I've done the trips enough, but still, I'd just rather take the time to do that and then figure out, alright, this is what I've got to do. What a mesh. Well, turns out we actually had a bit of a shower last night, so I just thought it was the condensation, but it got a little bit. So I think what it's done is I did it in the RV so it could dry, so it'd be nice for today, but it's obviously gotten wet from that shower and activated that acid again, and fucking gave me a real shit show. It didn't come off as easy as I thought, but turns out I got stuck in it too early. I started doing it, then by the time I finished one side I worked my way to the other side, and it had been in the sun long enough, and when it was dry all that powder and that sort of thing just washed off a lot easier. So I'm thinking that just that little bit of rain did put a spanner in the works, and it probably would have been smooth sailing. But in saying that, I'm only looking at it being sprayed on bare metal, not on what do you call it, galvanized stuff, or metal that's been coated in tactile. And I think that's what the big reaction was, that reaction with the tactile. And yeah, that was a bit of a pain to get off too. But trial and error. See, this is what I mean. I wanted to do this with the trailer because I don't want to have a mess when I do the ute. A lot easier to turn this upside down and inside out and work on it than it will be that ute. So I'm getting there, figuring it out. What I'll do is I'll make up another mix. So I'm going to spray it on the tow bar of the ute, leave it overnight, and see if it has the same effect. If not, laughing. But now at least I know this thing's been stripped clean well and truly. And I've just gone, I had to do it real quick because I thought we were going to get a shower, so I couldn't do much footage. I got stuck into it. By the time I finished rubbing it down again or cleaning it off again, wiping it down with thinners and that, yeah, she was getting a bit on. So I managed to put one coat on, and I've just finished doing this other coat. This Renogy stuff is unreal. It all I can describe it as is like a varnish, wood varnish for metal. It sticky shit, it really coats, it really hangs onto that metal, that's for sure. They recommend 2 to 3 coats, but it's just the boat trailer, and I've gone and put one coat on. I've got the other coat on, so I think I might just leave it at that. Did the axle a couple of times. Still tossing up what do I do with that, whether I give it a coat of black as well, or leave it at that and just wrap it up in, or tactile, because what I am going to do is stuff like that and underneath the guards I didn't do, because I'm just going to tactile it again because it's going to get smashed with rocks in them spots. So yeah, all that what is that, grease axle tape, might even wrap that axle up in it. It's just a pain in the ass when you want to work with it. The shit goes everywhere, but not to worry. I'm going to shut shop for the day and call it a quits, and we'll see it in the morning. Oh, always got to have a say. Always bloody got to have a say. Today's the day. Well, we're not going to spray it because this wind's just on off, so I had backup idea. We're just going to paintbrush it. Should still look pretty good. So there we go, but I get a bit of cloud, so I'm going to get stuck into this. I think I'll time that well. Oh, she's touch dry. Turned out pretty good too, if I may say, for paintbrush jobby. Well, hopefully it's going to have enough time. It's looking pretty good already, just in case it does get a bit of a shower. I've got 24 hours, and I'll hopefully, if the weather's good, tomorrow same time we'll show another coat on. I'm only going to put 2 coats on it, so that's 2 of that Renogy, 2 of this. I think should be right. Even after that first coat, it's good, and I didn't put it on too thick. It covers really nice on that Renogy stuff. You obviously see where there's things, but I reckon after tomorrow all them little streaky marks be gone, and oh, I'm digging the colour. I like the matte. Better than gloss, I think. It looks nice. Okay, we're getting there. Right, we're done. So in my head I thought it's not going to be that bad, it's not going to be that hard. In reality it was a bit of work, but now it was all worth it. I'm pretty lucky because this morning it started sprinkling, and well, I'm just glad I got it painted before it did. Got the final coats on. I couldn't really record much because I was in a bit of a rush trying to run around and that while I was painting. And yeah, the last coat I had to go away, saw something out, come back, I got stuck into painting it, and that was yesterday. And today we could put it all together, and I think it turned out pretty good. Yes, I know, made it all look deadly, and I kept the old blue skids. The thing is the skids were the only thing I know were new because I replaced them last time I was here. So this time I just wanted to replace stuff that I haven't replaced for this trip. So went and did all the rollers, Obviously added things, added new tie down points for it, a couple of jerry can holders. I went and replaced all these front bolts. The other ones on the back of them were alright, but what I'll do is I'll get a few more so I can take just in case. New springs are on, new bolts, new fish plates. Pretty stoked with that. It's even lifted up a little bit, a touch, so I reckon she's gonna sit pretty level behind the ute now. See how we go. No weight on it yet neither. Why the guards are so big is because when I first got it, come with 16 inch, different stud pattern though. They weren't the same as my ute or anything. And the biggest reason why I change them is it's really hard to stick a spare 16 inch tyre. So I dropped down to the 14. But yeah, I'm pretty stoked how it turned out. Still I'm tossing up. I just don't like the weight on that drawbar, and I want to strengthen the drawbar, but see how we go for now. But yeah, everything's worked out really well. I think it turned out pretty cool. You know, it almost looks like a new trailer. I'm pretty stoked. I'm glad I took the time to do that. For those who are wondering, it's Dumbia Sports earlier model, 4.2. I'm really digging it. What I got to do is go through is I've got some rubber mats that I'm going to lay down, probably Sikaflex in there, just so as I drive they're not rubbing, them bolt heads aren't rubbing on the bottom of the jerry cans. I'm very stoked with that. That has turned out really nice. Oh well, she's getting closer now. I'm going to show the boat up there, see what it looks like, and slowly get to packing the boat. I've got to get this quad off. We're in a couple of weeks and we'll be moving. Alright then, catch us in the next episode. Thank you.